Yeah, 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 yeah. Yo, 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 yo. I'm about to get the dough. Ain't been sleeping on before. Nigga, pop out with.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Sorry about this. I will make sure to check into this because this has never happened to us before. All in all, are you good, bro? Ready to start the show all over again?
Let's get it.
All right, so now, like I said, we always start the show off with the rundown. Okay, before we had our technical difficulties, we were about to get into this topic right here, which is TKO ruining WWE fandom? And I think you were starting off with us, bro, before we had our situation. So you go ahead and start.
Yeah, this whole TKO issue stems from um, people's dislike for Barack and all of that other stuff. And to me, to say TKO is ruining WWE fandom it makes no sense. It makes zero sense. Um, we can't sit here and say that TKO is the sole reason for things not going in our direction, like things that we are not enjoying. We can't sit here and blame TKO for this, blame TKO for that. It's just things aren't being delivered to our expectations. So we can't sit here and say it's TKO's fault or point the finger at anybody. It's just what we want comes with bad execution. That's all it is. We can't blame it on a whole nother organization for what the WWE decides to
That's true facts. Okay, my 2 cents on the TKO situation is I would say with the recent releases of like Dakota Kai, Braun Strowman, now with the recent release today, the recent of the announcement that Archie was not renewing his contract and everything, it's hit a whole like perspective of like everybody's basically looking at it like what's going on here, like R-Truth is like one of the most beloved superstars in WWE. That's the issue right there.
do.
It's not TKO ruining WWE. I just think a lot of fans are like fans of certain wrestlers, and when the wrestlers doesn't get like the recommend the like the recognition or not known on TV, like for instance, for example,
Hmm.
Karrion Cross, who's a guy who's been doing well on social media and everything, pushing like the stories that he's trying to do and everything. The promo he gave at WrestleMania when he was like basically speaking from the heart, that's
Hmm.
still the most watched video on there. And it's like for him to speak on situations going on behind the scenes with TKO and everything, it says a lot. But at the same time, we as fans know we want to see best product on TV. I
Hmm.
just think when it comes down to it, TKO is a marketable company. They market everything from UFC. Well, UFC is one of the other bigger markets. They just happen to buy WWE for Vince McMahon when the scandal happened.
Hmm.
And I know a lot of people hate when they're the favorite. Like I know some people are like literally upset with this R-Truth situation. For instance, Triple H was talking about the Triple A versus Data E Worlds Collide pay per view coming up soon. If you
Hmm.
look at his comments on Twitter, it's nothing but sign R-Truth back. Don't let him go. That's how beloved R-Truth is. TK, at the end of the day, we know this is a business. We know that a lot of people are going to be upset regardless when it comes down to certain wrestlers getting released. I'm an R
Mm-hmm.
Truth guy. I was upset when I heard that he's going to be let go. Granted, I know some people were like, "Good, he needs to be let go. He's old," but it doesn't mean he's old or not. He's entertaining. We literally just watched him on Saturday Night Main Event. The match wasn't like it was entertaining. It wasn't like a 5-star matchup. No, it was
Mm-hmm.
entertaining. He made us believe that he's going to beat John Cena at a certain point. He made us thought that he was going to bring back the good Cena back, but sadly didn't happen. But but at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, it's telling the story. But I just think fans have a gripe when it comes down to it. Business decisions. It sucks.
Mm-hmm.
It really sucks. Yes. But at the same time, we can't be like, oh, F Triple H or F this person. Trust me, I know they will keep them. They can keep them, but it's just that if you're not being used on TV, if you're not gaining like a following all over, not just on social media, all over,
Mm-hmm.
especially when you at the places. Now, granted, the only thing I say about TKO is ticket prices. The ticket pricing has been high as hell.
Mm-hmm.
It was never this high before. It's just that, like I said, TKO is really known as a marketable place where they try to sell the best product.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, everybody will be like, "Oh, they released our truth, but they're going to keep Logan Paul and Nikita Lyon." Where's the issue with that? Nikita Lyon and Logan Paul, one, y'all bad mouth them like crazy on social media, so the WWE are going to see reaction towards that. Especially
Mm-hmm.
Logan Paul. Logan Paul's a heat magnet. This past Friday, well, actually, before I think the show even happened on Friday, he had a little spit on X talking about how people are hating on him and everything and all that stuff. So it's like he's a heat magnet. Now, granted, Logan Paul's a great athlete. He's just a dick. That's his only issue. He's a dumbass. That's his only
Mm-hmm.
thing. He's a great athlete in the ring. He's just a total dumbass. But I know a lot of fans hate it when they see this guy getting opportunities he's getting. Yeah, think about it. His branding and everything. Even though that shouldn't be like the all in all be all for a person to get the spotlight. But at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, as TKO, they're looking for the branding stuff. They're looking to see who's popular out here. They're looking to see who's the most talked about person. I mean, right now on social media in the WC is Karrion Cross the most talked about. Carmelo Hayes, who just had a good match this past Friday, even though he did lose, people are upset about that. It's to a
Mm-hmm.
fact where it's like we can't keep blaming TKO for certain things. It comes down to when it comes down to are you doing what needs to be necessary? Not because it's your favorite. It can be our favorite, but it's gotta be everybody else's favorite as well too. That's the only thing I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The only thing I say TKO is ruining for WWE fandom is the ticket prices. That's the only thing I can say. Other than that, it's been like okay for me. Triple H is still a good booker, even though we can still critique the company. Yes, we don't have to hate the company. We can critique it at the end of the day. That's the only thing it's all
Mm-hmm.
about critiquing the company. But it's like, I mean, with the announcement of our truth today, it's kind of like hard because it's like normally, like I said, I love all wrestling. I'm not just WWE guy. I watch AEW. I watch TNA when I get a chance to. I even watch some of the indie stuff like the reality of wrestling. Sometimes I'll watch what I think is Hog Wrestling, House of Glory Wrestling. I watch a lot of that
Mm-hmm.
stuff. It's just that, like I said, wrestling as a whole, when one wrestler can release in WWE, there's are a lot of markets out there for him to go at. Like right now, Cedric Alexander is killing it on the indie scene right now. Killing it. Hit him. Indy Hartwell's doing great on the indie scene and TNA as well. Baron Corbin, he's on MLW. Well, he go by somebody else now.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, these wrestlers will be fine. I just think the fact that when it's a certain person that we love gets released, it's become haywire. It's like, oh, FWE, oh, it's Dwayne Johnson's fault, or oh, it's TKO's fault. it's like, bruh, look, business is business. It just sucks. It just sucks. Business is always going to is always is business is business, but it's always going to suck.
Hmm.
But you got anything more you want to add to it, or we can just move on?
I mean, we said enough on that one.
Yeah. Cause like I said, I get the fans' gripes and upsets about everything going on in WWE. Like, a certain wrestlers that should be like moved up to like where they're supposed to be at. But it's like at the same time, you gotta think about it. We had to get behind a lot of wrestlers that didn't get the push they were supposed to get yet. Prime
Hmm.
example, LA Knight. Remember LA Knight had that huge like following like during 2023? Everybody's getting behind him and saying, yeah, we want him to be champion, we want him this and that. It took him almost 400 and something days to get a title when he beat Logan Paul. So it's like, I know we want I get the part of we want certain wrestlers to get their due. I just think it's
Hmm.
just like, look, patience is a virtue. Granted, I understand it's a long wait game. I get it. In the long run, that person will get used properly. I promise. If they don't, we can criticize them for sure. We're going to criticize them all the time. I don't care what anybody say. WWE is not immune for criticism at all. They're not immune. So let's just move on because, like I said, we already spoke this on enough. We're upset. Our Truth's gone. Granted, we're both upset. My man name is today's name is L Truth, so it makes sense. All right, so let's move on to the next topic. Now I know on this show we talk about WWE a lot, but I figured, hey, let's talk about something else this time, which is AEW Double or Nothing was a great pay per view. Last weekend it was Memorial Week Day weekend, of course.
Hmm.
Sunday we had two shows. We had NXT Battleground, and we also had AEW's Double or Nothing. Now I watched AEW Double or Nothing first because I know I can watch Battleground on Peacock and just rewatch it. As I'm watching Double or Nothing, it was an awesome show from top to bottom. The opening matchup was Mercedes Monet versus damn it, what's her name? I forgot her name already. God damn it. I
Hmm.
apologize. I apologize to you. I'm sorry. AEW. What's her name?
Was it the what's the name? The
Because they just had a match. It was just a match between them two together, and
the puppet chick.
no, not Harley. No, Jamie Hayter.
Jamie Hayter. Yep.
Sorry. I apologize. Sorry, the name just didn't pop in my head. I apologize. But the show started with Jamie Hayter versus Mercedes Monet in the Owen Hart Tournament Cup for the women's side, and the winner of this match will get a title shot at All In against Thomas Tony Storm.
Hmm.
Um, Match back and forth was great. We had great offense between both women. Of course, Mercedes, like I said, Mercedes, she's getting better and better and better in the ring. She's showing why she's one of the best women wrestlers in today's sport today. Now, no, like I said, Mercedes can be a show off a little bit, but at the same time, her and Jamie pulled off a great match. I thought Jamie was going to win, but it
Hmm.
it made all of the sense for Mercedes to win because the end game is for her to fight Tony for that world championship for the women's side.
Hmm.
That's the end game. And other matches that happened, we had the Hurt Syndicate, which has a new member in MJF, versus the Son of Texas, which is Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara. Great match. That the Sons of Texas gave the Hurt Syndicate their best tag team match today.
Hmm.
Hurston's kid is Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, and the rest of it is MVP and MJF. Overall, like I said, it was a great match. Then, of course, we had the match of me, the match of the night, the Anarchy in the Arena, where you had the Death Riders and the Young Bucks versus Kenny Omega, Swerve Strickland, Willow Nightingale, and the Ops, which is Shibata, Will Hobbs, and Samoa Joe.
Mm-hmm.
When I tell you this match was entertaining, it was exciting, the match was perfect. The fact that they play I'm so excited as a ring music for them to fight first, then they stopped it, and Kenny Omega, to his credit, say he wants an alternative rock music from 2000. They played Let the Bodies Hit the Floor. When that song came on, that what they was going off. Like everybody was fighting each other.
Mm-hmm.
And of course it stopped. The music stops once Claudio swinged them into the speaker. Overall, that match was fun. It told everything. Of course, the faces win the match.
Mm-hmm.
It just that, like I said, this pay per view from top to bottom was great. And of course, the main event of the night, Will Ospreay versus Hangman Adam Page. The back and forth. Like I said, if anything this year for me, Will Ospreay, he is a different breed. Like I'm glad he went to AEW because I don't think we would have saw this type of offense or whatever he's doing right now in WWE. We wouldn't see that, to be honest with you. And also, I think it's a traveling situation too because Will Ospreay doesn't live in America. He lives in London still.
Mm-hmm.
Like he travels from home from London to go come to the show, depending on if he's on that show that week. Now, granted, if he were in WWE, he probably would have that luxury. He would not have that luxury at all. He would have to like probably find a house in the States.
Mm-hmm.
But all in all, the back and forth between Hangman and the back and forth between Will Ospreay and themselves, it was so great. All in all, the person that came on top was Adam Page. Now, Adam Page is a title shot against John Moxley at All In. Overall, AEW for the past, I would say, 3 weeks, 2 weeks now, just about, they brought me back in. Cause like I said, recently I've been out of it. Cause I'm like, okay, what's the direction here? Where we're going here? Are we waiting for a certain person to come back to beat Moxley, or are we like just because the story has been like all over the place?
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, AEW has been on fire a little bit for the past couple weeks now, so I'm gonna keep watching it every Wednesday and sometimes on Saturday because they have Collision as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I know this Wednesday coming up, they're supposed to have a 4 hour special.
Jesus.
That's what I said. It's a 4 hour special. I guess depending on the matches, I guess I don't know, but I want to see how it's gonna work out because a 4 hour special on a Wednesday night is insane.
Might as well say that's a pay per view.
It's their version. It is because it basically it kind of is a pay per view because it's Fighter Fest.
Oh
Like
boy.
they have their own like spin off of AEW or Dynamite or something like that. They had like like AEW like what is it Carnage whatever it's called. It had like certain ones they do like a special episode.
Mm-hmm.
All in all, like I said, AEW keep up the good work. That's all I'm gonna say. Keep up the good work because you're bringing me back into being a fan. Cause like I said, when AEW first came out in 2019, I was watching it constantly because certain wrestlers on there I love, like Cody Rhodes. At the time, Cody was on there at the time. Of course, Kenny Omega, who I'm a fan of. Like I said, certain wrestlers on that brand I'm a fan of. Now, granted, a lot of wrestlers that was on there from 2019 are not really there anymore, or not being used. So it's like, yeah. So did you see any clips? Did you see any clips of it, or did you watch it?
I didn't watch it, but the only clip that I probably seen was the anarchy in the arena,
Okay.
and I think that's the only AEW stipulation that I can actually get behind because,
It's anarchy.
like, that too, and on top of that, it's a different twist to what we usually see as far as like a falls count anywhere type situation.
I agree.
And then on top of that, it's a multiple person matchup, and you don't see a lot of these involving the women.
This is the
So
first
big
time
ups
they
to
involve
A.
women. This is the first time.
Yeah, so big ups to AEW on that. My only thing is just I feel like they shouldn't. Um, my only thing is that they shouldn't. They should just keep it as like for pay-per-view purposes. Because if you do it on a dynamite or a collision, it's going to feel rushed and it's going to feel like low key weird
I agree,
because it
hundred
doesn't
percent.
have that
I agree, hundred
it
percent.
doesn't have that fight feel.
Yeah, very true. All right, so let's moving on. But before we move on to the next topic, it's some other stuff I want to cover because, like I said, we were off for almost about 3 weeks, almost. Well, actually, just 2 weeks for we was going for 2 weeks. So
Hmm.
while we was gone for 2 weeks, we have a new TNA World Champion in Trick Williams.
Yeet.
When I tell you now, that was on Battleground the same night as AEW Double or Nothing.
Hmm.
Number one, I was like, are they really going to put the title on a WWE talent? I mean, because remember they got this partnership and everything, so it makes sense. But
Right.
now Trick Williams is now known as TNA World Champion,
Hmm.
and it's like it's perfect for him because he's going into his heel persona now, where he's Hollywood
Yep.
Trick, and it's working for him now because it's like he still gives off that he's still a fan favorite even though he's a heel now.
Hmm.
That's the only issue. He's a heel, but he's a fan favorite. And this past Tuesday, he basically went into full heel mode. Cause everybody was cheering for him. He said, don't cheer for me now. Y'all was cheering for that average Joe.
It's true.
Which is
It's
true.
true. It's true.
Now he's supposed to defend his title against Mike Santana this Tuesday on NXT. Also,
Why
we
not?
had also we have a new NXT Women's Champion in Jessie Jane, which was like crazy to watch, but at the same time, we know why it happened because Stephanie Valkyrie is now on the Monday Night roster now. They just announced that
Hmm.
recently. But but thing is though, it was shocking. Everybody was like, "Oh my god, JC Jane has beaten Stephanie Valkyrie." What happened now? Now everybody's upset because Stephanie Valkyrie, Julia, and now I'm hearing Jordan Grace are now being moved up to the main roster, which is like one. I know people are upset about, it, but I'm like, look, NXT they need to be down there. They didn't. They were fine. They could have came to the main roster from the rip. But to
Hmm.
get acquaintance to the WWE universe, you had to go through that. But only thing is though, a lot of us know who they are. And NXT is a place to build up new talent.
Hmm.
It's to shine a light on new talent. And that's what they do with Jessie Jane. Jessie Jane has now won the NXT Women's Championship. Rightfully so. She should be used properly now. Also, we have a new NXT North American champion, Ethan Page. Ricky Saints, he beat Ricky Saints, which I'm hearing about Ricky Saints now. He's supposed to move up to the main roster soon. So it's like, hey, the ball's in their court right now to use these wrestlers now in the main roster, especially these four. The women are going to be fine because you got three bona fide stars in Jordan Grace, Julia, and Stephanie
Hmm.
Valkyrie. Ricky Saints, he'll be fine. It just depends on what show you're gonna put him on. If you put him on SmackDown, you got a shot. You put him on Raw, it could be something.
Well, here's the thing though with that. I mean, I feel like with Ricky Saints, he's better off on SmackDown because SmackDown is thin as far as star power is concerned. Because we only got
Okay.
the we only have what Cody, John, Solo,
Jacob,
Jacob, uh,
LA Knight.
Jeff Cobb now, LA Knight,
Well, not Jeff Cobb, JC Mateo.
whatever his name is
Ah,
now.
when they changed his name,
Um,
I'm like JC Mateo. Like we know it's Jeff Cobb, but I get it. They trademark and everything. I get it.
I mean, it's not too bad, but whatever works.
Yeah.
Um, and of course Roman.
When
Um,
he comes back to work. Right
yeah,
now,
and that's the
right now,
thing because with Roman being in and out, you're gonna need people to feel that not the same void as Roman, but you need somebody that could at least fill that gap as far as star power is concerned. So if you're gonna put Ricky Saints in that predicament, put him on SmackDown. Raw is gonna be fine,
very
especially
true.
if you are looking to put people in the main roster as far as like male talent. I would say put Trick Williams on Raw. Put if and when it happens,
Yeah, that's the
Ethan
point.
Page.
If and when it happens, yeah. Well, Ethan
Yeah,
Page was just
Ethan
on
Page can
SmackDown this
fit on
past
Raw.
Friday.
I mean, I feel like for Ethan Page, either or is going to be fine, but at the same time, Raw is going to need more people than SmackDown as far as stories and as far as in ring competition. So,
Yeah, very true. Yeah.
yeah.
They don't need more women on. They need more women on Raw. 'Cause, I mean, they got a lot of women on the
Mm-mm,
show, but you got to think about it. Right now, one of the stories with women now is you got, of course, you got Becky and Lyra for the Intercontinental Championship. Then you got
mm-hmm,
Billy when she comes back. You got
mm-hmm,
Liv, Raquel, and Roxanne now. Their situation. Stephanie, she can be involved with something. It depends on what they're going to do with it. But all in all, like you said, it depends on how they're going to be used. Because, like I said, with Ricky, you can put him on Raw, be good. You can put him on SmackDown, he'll be good. But like you said,
mm-hmm,
SmackDown needs more people, I guess, if you think about it, star wise. But when you got Carmelo Hayes there still,
mm-hmm,
you got The Miz still there, you got
mm-hmm,
Shinsuke still there. Shinsuke's still around, doing this whole samurai thing.
mm-hmm.
You still got Aleister Black, who's probably going to go into a program with LA Knight possibly. So it's like, all in all, we'll see how it turns out. But speaking of which, now I'm gonna get into predictions because this Saturday is Money in the Bank. So far on the card, we have the Intercontinental Championship for the women, which will be Becky versus Lyra one more time. And the
Mm-hmm.
stipulation is if Becky loses this match, she will not get another shot at the title. We also have the women's Money in the Bank match that has Julia, Naomi, Alexa Bliss on the women's. I'm not quite sure how to help you with
Hmm.
that. And then you, of course, let's say Alexa Bliss. Um, and then of course you have, I want to say, Rhea Ripley, and you have one more spot which will be between Liv Morgan, Stephanie Valkyrie, and Ivy Nile tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm.
And of course on the men's side you have Andrade, LA Knight, Solo Sokoa, Seth Rollins, And then we have one more. And let me pull up the names of who's in the match so far, just to be on the safe side, because I could be butchering it.
Yeah, it wasn't much of a build for the shows because of the other um because of the other shows that they were building up. Um, yeah, so like you said, Money in the Bank, we have Solo, LA Knight, Penta, Seth, Andrade. Um, as far as the men's Money in the Bank,
Oh, Penta.
uh,
Forgot about Penta. So it's
yeah,
Solo,
Penta.
LA Knight, Penta, Seth Rollins, Andrade. One more spot will be filled between CM Punk, AJ Styles, and El Grande Americano. Which I'm kind of
Hmm.
like upset about because one, it should be Karrion Cross in that position because, you know, Karrion needed this push badly.
Yeah.
Okay, out of every so for right now, let's do predictions. I want to start off with the Intercontinental Championship match between Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch.
Hmm.
And like I said, the stipulation is if Becky loses this time, she will never challenge for the Intercontinental Championship again,
Hmm.
as long as Lyra has the belt.
Hmm.
So all in all, with that being said, I have Becky Lynch beating Lyra Valkyria for the Intercontinental Championship. And here's why. One, Becky is now on this heel run where she's like saying, like, look, you want me to be the bad guy? Fine, I can be the bad guy. And all in all, this match sets up perfectly for SummerSlam for me to possibly have her versus Bailey.
Mm.
Or if not, you can hold off on it and maybe have it at um, Survivor Series possibly. Because Survivor Series is going to be at a baseball stadium this year.
Yeah, it is.
It'll be in, I think, San Diego, if I'm not mistaken. So who are you picking, Lyra or Becky?
Excuse me. I'm honestly, I feel like Lyra's going to take this one,
Okay.
and the reason being is because this could possibly either lead to one of two scenarios. Lyra Valkyria, she beats Becky, but she loses it before SummerSlam to either Bailey or somebody else, thus making it a triple threat.
So what you're saying is she'll beat Becky. Only thing is though, in order for Becky to get back in the title picture, she has to hope that somebody beats Lyra to get her back in that title picture. Okay, I got you.
Yep.
Okay, that
Or
makes sense.
I mean, if we do get Becky Lynch winning, um, it could either way still end up in a triple threat because Becky, even though she was Grand Slam before the new titles came in the picture,
Uh huh.
um, they can still give her that women's IC championship, and then Bailey comes back and challenges, but Lyra is still owed a rematch. So either way, I feel like it's going to end up in a triple threat at SummerSlam. Um, and probably Becky will probably retain that as well. So I'm predicting the future here.
All right. So next match on the card on the docket, we have. the tag team match that consists of the returning Cody Rhodes and the world heavyweight champion Jey Uso
Hmm.
versus Logan Paul and the WWE champion in John Cena.
Hmm.
Now with this match, it can go anywhere, but for me, since this being Cody Rhodes' return match and everything, also we're going down the line of Cena's last like matches on the card.
Hmm.
I have Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes beating Logan Paul and John Cena with Logan Paul eating the pin. Cause Logan Paul, even if he eats the pin, he's fine.
Yeah.
But it's like you let Cena or Jay or Cody takes the pin, it doesn't look well.
Hmm.
Also, Jay has to worry about now the following night, well, the following Monday, because that Monday he has to fight Gunter for the world championship. So that's why I say I think it's a momentum booster where if Jay and Cody beat Cena and Logan, it's a momentum booster. So I got them winning the match. Who you got?
Mm. I mean, I look at it this way. Based on how this matchup is going to go, I feel like, well, to your point of it being the momentum booster, um, it could definitely go in Jay and Cody's favor. At the same time, I feel like with John Cena and Logan, they're going to find a way to win,
Mm-hmm.
depending on how the match goes. Because I can see Jay and Cody winning with Cody coming back. I just think it's going to be somewhat of a swerve where Cody's going to take the pin, probably from Logan Paul.
Ooh, you know that would be a whole like mess on Twitter. That happens.
Yeah, I feel like Cody would take the pin from Logan if they was the win, but also this might potentially set up for because I think what Night of Champions is going to be coming up soon.
Well, you got SummerSlam first, and then you got Night of Champions.
Yeah, so
Because like we go after because I think after Money in the Bank and everything, it's going to be a long build up for SummerSlam. Because SummerSlam going to be 2 nights. So,
yeah, yeah. This is why I say if we're going in that route, give us a champions versus champions match at SummerSlam.
who, what? Cena versus
Jay
who?
ver- Cena
Versus
versus
Cena?
Jay.
Ah,
The only reason why I say that is because it protects both. As far as the direction that they're going to go, as far as Jay and Cena is concerned, it protects them.
uh,
As far as titles being on the line, you don't really need a title on the line. It's just whoever wins wins,
but that at a
and then from
SummerSlam,
there, trust me, trust me.
that would, I mean,
It,
I get the premise. That's like a Night of Champions type thing or anything. Or like a brand supremacy type deal. But for SummerSlam to be a champion versus champion match, no title on the line, just them two fighting. That wouldn't make sense.
it would
I love the
if
idea.
you
Don't get me
it,
wrong. The idea is good, but it's like
the
I don't
reason
think.
why I say
Go ahead.
the reason why I say no title on the line is because again, you got to think the protection that both champions have as
Uh
far
huh.
as Cena's 17 title run versus Jey Uso's first major title run. It could go either way. Um, like I said, as far as what they want to take both champions moving forward, you can't lose. You can't. Well, I ain't gonna say you can't lose, but it's a win-win because as far as creative is concerned, where they want to take the champions, it doesn't hurt or hinder them. On top of that, it's a hell of a main event where you would suspect a title change, but at the same time, it's like, is John Cena going to be double champion? Would that make sense? No. Is Jay Uso going to be double champion? Would that make sense? No. So just have him rumble. Now, this is where it gets interesting because whoever has the briefcase has a win-win. Both champions in the same ring. Boom, cash in.
I get you. I got it, but I don't know if they'll go that route. I mean, I love the idea of what you're thinking about. It's just that for me, I don't know if they'll go that route. That's just me being honest about that. But like I said, I love the creativity what you're going with right now with it. But to me, like I said, I don't think it's going to go that route.
And trust me, if they do go champion versus champion at SummerSlam, the one person that will make sense for a cash in at that very moment, Seth Rollins.
Well, speaking of that match, let's get into it. We have the women's and men's ladder match. Like I said,
Hmm.
both spots. There's one more spot for both to be filled for both nights, for both matches. For both matches, we got. Of course, like I said, tomorrow night we have Stephanie Valkyrie, Ivy Nile, and Liv Morgan for the Raw for the last spot in the women's. Then on the men's side, we have AJ Styles, CM Punk, and El Grande Americano in that one.
Hmm.
So as predictable wise, like I said, I got for the men's one, I'm gonna say I got CM Punk winning that one. And for the women's side, I got Stephanie Valkyrie. Just knocking on wood here. Because Stephanie Valkyrie
Hmm.
debuting tomorrow, I highly doubt she's going to lose tomorrow.
True.
So let's just, well, even so, it'll be something to change when we post it on our social. So let's just say, who do you have winning the men's? Who do you have winning the women's?
As far as the men, Seth Rollins. As far as the women's,
Remember, on the women's side, remember you have Naomi, Julia, Roxanne, Alexa Bliss, and Rhea Ripley. And depending on the Stephanie Valkyrie wins the match, she'll be in the match too.
Mhm. So for the women, I'm gonna go Roxanne.
Okay.
For the men, I'm gonna go Seth Rollins.
So two Raw winners. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's a good pickup. All right, so for me, I'm going with on the men's side. He's been in the match 3 times. I'm gonna go LA Knight.
Okay.
He's been in that match 3 times. He's supposed to win it last years ago, but he didn't win it. Sadly,
Hmm.
so it is what it is. And for my women's side, I got Naomi. Reason why I say Naomi because one, like everybody else in that match is like they're going to be like in stories. For Naomi to
Hmm.
win that briefcase and then cash it in on whoever she wants to cash it in on, whether it be Jade, Bianca, Tiffany, whoever.
Hmm.
And the ways Naomi's going as this character, like perceived with caution as being like a crazy person, perfect for her at all day, all time. That's what I'm going with. I'm going with LA Knight, and I'm going with Naomi to win the Money in the Bank. That's the card right now for right now. But it could be more matches added. Well, when we hear about more matches being added, we will have our predictions put up on our IG, social, and everything, and we'll like give our picks again. All right, so this week Well, actually, this week we don't have a Kings list. Next week we will though. But for purposes of this, since we did announce tonight that our truth did get notified that they would not be renewing this contract, let's just end the show out with this, basically saying favorite R Truth moment in the WWE.
Hmm.
Like you already said, you have yours, so you can go ahead and straight started, bro.
All right. Favorite R Truth moment would definitely have to be his initial heel turn with the whole little Jimmy thing.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Triple H in the ring, that segment.
Oh, he was
Dumb,
talking like this and this.
hu- dumb, hilarious. Dumb, hilarious. Like, for R Truth to pull that off, like, you would think R Truth would be definitely one of those guys that could, do a heel turn. But that alone, golden. And then on top of that, the man changed his theme song to just 6 words: "The truth shall set you free," and that was
And he
it.
just walks out. Yes, I remember that.
And
He just
just
walks
walked
out.
out. It's the greatest theme song ever. I don't care.
The truth will set you free. He just walks right out with no music. I'm like,
And just walked right out.
all right, so that's your favorite. My favorite moment of all time with R Truth is multiple. Him breaking everybody in character.
Mm,
When I tell you, this man literally broke Brock Lesnar to laughter in the ring.
dude, dude.
This man has broken. His man has broken Brock Lesnar, John
Hmm.
Cena, Stone
Hmm.
Cold,
Hmm.
Damian Priest for all the reasons. He just did the Solo Sokoa just past Friday. He did it Roman Reigns a few times. Like I said, it's that it's that Nick when you like it makes somebody laugh in the ring. And Truth
Hmm.
has always been entertaining. That's why he's in WWE for so long. He was just entertaining. Granted,
Hmm.
I know he played a character where it's like he's acting like you don't know nothing going on, what's going on in the world and everything. But it worked. Cause we know now it's the thing. He went from K Quick to going
Hmm.
to Ron Killings on TNA. Then he became the Truth. Then he became our Truth.
Hmm.
In TNA, he was known as a serious person when he won the world title twice over there. He's the only black NWA world champion ever. Ever.
Ever.
There hasn't been another one at all. He's the only person that's been NWA champion that is a color descent. Well, not a color descent. Basically, just being black, basically. Um, yeah, man. Like I said, anything Truth did in the ring in WWE was always hilarious to me. Like I said, you can count on Truth to make you smile and be happy what's going on. Like I said, it was a Saturday day to find out that his contract is not being renewed. So
I mean, my thing is this: with our truth, the man has done just about everything in the company that there is to do.
that is true.
I mean, he's like the 800-time 24/7 champion, tag team champion, uh, U.S. champion, if I'm not mistaken.
He was tag champion, U.S. champion,
And I think he was he
twenty
Intercontinental
four.
champion.
Never. He was 24/7 champion multiple times.
Yeah, like 800 times.
He was never
Um,
Intercontinental. He was tag team United States. That's it. Never anything else.
wow,
It would have been cool to have him as
not a bad,
IC champion.
not a bad resume in my opinion. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Well, yeah, think about it. Look at his entire resume. Former NWA World Champion, former NWA
Hmm.
Tag Team Champion, former
Hmm.
TNA Tag Team Champion, former United States champion, former tag team champion, but like Kofi Kingston, Miz. Who else? He was tag team champion. Just them two, just Miz and Kofi.
Just them two. Yep.
Yeah. And like I said, multiple time 24/7 champion. That was the entertainment right there. Him being
Yeah,
24/7 champion,
he was hardcore champ.
hardcore champion.
Yeah, he was hardcore champ. I thought he had a no. I'm thinking of when they was playing hot potato with the IC champ. That's probably why I thought he was champ.
Yeah. Of course, he's an awesome rapper.
Yeah.
Has great music. Has great music.
And here's the thing. Here's another thing with our truth. I mean, it's outside of WWE, of course. The man wrestled Mr. Perfect
And
in
TNA,
TNA.
yes. Russell Scott
The,
Hall.
the he wrestled Scott Hall. The man put our truth in the Hall of Fame next year. I don't care.
He
Release
deserves
him.
it.
Put him in the Hall of Fame.
If anything, if I'm WWE, since you're not renewing his contract as a competitor in the ring, at least give him a Legends deal. He's
Something.
a bona fide legend, if anything.
Something.
And like I
The
said,
man has wrestled the greats.
the man still look the same age as when he debuted. He don't look any older. He's
Mm-hmm.
immortal for real, for real. At the same time, like I said, if I'm WWE and you hear the outcry of the fans on Twitter and everywhere and all that stuff being upset, you have to put that man either in a Legends deal or put him in the Hall because that man went through everything in WWE. Vince McMahon
Mm-hmm.
loved the R-Truth. He was a fan of R-Truth. R-Truth was an entertainer. Granted, a
Yep.
wrestler is great, but you got to entertain the masses too. He was always good for doing that. He will entertain
Mm-hmm.
you till you cannot breathe anymore. Because certain things that he did in that ring that make you love him, make you laugh and everything. I don't care what it is. Like
Mm-hmm.
I said, today was a sad day to find out that he would not be in WWE soon. He would not be leaving soon. So all I want to say is thank you, Truth, for what you did for a lot of fans. Hopefully, we'll see you continue with everything. Your music's still gonna be fire either way.
Absolutely.
Wrestling wise, I want to see where he's gonna go because if he's leaving WWE, hey, go to TNA.
Go back
AEW
to
he can
where it
go.
all started.
I mean, yeah, AEW he can go to too. But I'm just saying, but like, go back to where it all started for you, or if not, retire. Like you, like if you want to retire, you can retire on a good note because you have made a lot of fans throughout the entire year, throughout the entire your entire career.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, all right. So that's that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to like I said, I appreciate y'all staying with us through the technical difficulties tonight. Like I said, hopefully next week we won't have this. If we do, this will be on a new platform possibly. Like I said, I'll look into things. Also, next week the Kings list will be back, and like I said, we're gonna have a whole week to look into stuff. This week, I want you to do your homework this week too, bro. This week, name your top 5 matches that are not WWE.
Jesus.
Like I said, you got a week. You got a week.
Oh dear God. Oh dear God.
It can be matches from WCW days, ECW days, TNA, Ring of Honor, New Japan, wherever.
Oh dear God.
Like I said, you got until next Sunday to come up with some matches. You got to come up with 5.
Oh, oh dear God.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and close the show out. Let everybody know you can follow both of us on our Twitter, follow both of us on our IGs and our names. I go at hawk at fat double underscore hawk 54 on IG. You can follow my guy here on IG at Nova underscore Cam 32. Also, the Discord is in the description box. Like I said, we're if you want to join Discord, let us know. We'll add you into it. Also, like I said, we're looking to expand more people into the show. I know we're supposed to have guests on the show recently, but like I said, with schedule conflicting and then us taking a little break again, we didn't have any
Hmm.
guests. Like I said, hopefully we have some guests in the summer. That's the goal, to have some guests in the summer. And I already said multiple times, but I feel as though maybe we'll do it soon. At least by next year, at least. We'll do a live episode in the studio.
Hmm.
It will happen. But all in all, I appreciate everybody coming into the episode tonight. Like I said, sorry for the technical difficulties. We'll be back next week, hopefully, same time at 8:30. Until then, please like, share, subscribe to this podcast, hit the notification bell in there. And like I said, we'll be back next week better than ever. See y'all next week. Have a good night, guys.